Yeah, that's right, Ben. And Iga looking like the hot favourite for the women's draw. Go check out our men's draw reaction. It's doing quite well on YouTube. You can also listen to it on Spotify as well. That was posted yesterday. But now the focus is all on the women. And this draw happened first. The big talking point is Rybakina is on the other side of the draw from Iga, which is not good news for Sabalenka, but great news for Iga, the reigning champion, who's won this event now. Is it 2 times in a row?
Yes, 2 in a row and 3 out of 4. There was a 2021 blip there, but Barbora Krejcikova was the champion in that year, which was a bit of an anomaly, I would say. Yeah. And we are missing some big names from this one like we were the men's. They weren't dishing out the wild cards. Obviously, like Dominic Thiem missed out on the men's side. Simona Halep, obviously a previous champion, she misses out on the women's side as well. But we have got some amazing qualifiers and new names that will be coming through. We will be doing a qualifier video as well for, so make sure to keep your eye out on some of the players who have qualifiers in the first round.
Yeah, and those wondering about Emma Raducanu, there's big news for her as well. I think it's important to speak about. She has decided to not play the qualifiers at Roland Garros and instead won't be playing the event because she does not get into the main draw. She wasn't given a wild card and she's not playing the qualifiers. So shame, real shame for her that she's doing that. I think it would have been great for her to have played the qualifiers. We know she was made by the qualifiers at the US Open when she won it. And things are looking really quite sour for her at the moment.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, I did see that she's just been accepted as a wild card into another event, the first grass court event. I think it's in Nottingham or something. But yeah, that's just going to throw more conspiracy and that she doesn't want to be playing qualifiers and just wants to go straight into main draws. But we're not here to talk about the women who aren't in the draw. We're here to talk about the women that are, and we can start only at one place, and it has to be Iga Swiatek, the reigning, defending, 3-time Roland Garros champion. And let's have a look at her draw, because I don't think, and this is me personally, that it's too bad at all. So let's have a look. She's playing a qualifier lucky loser in the first round. Don't think it could be much better, really, if you're Iga. And then as you take a look down, the one name that jumps off the page there, probably bad for you, JG, as you've got her in your end-of-year top 10, is Naomi Osaka. Potential second-round matchup here for Iga.
It's horrible. It's horrible for Osaka, not so much Iga. I think Naomi's played not too bad in some of the clay court events. I think she did one of the best ever in Rome from her previous attempts. So she's in some kind of form and she's hitting quite well. Can she get anywhere close to an Iga? No, not at all. So I look at this draw as not that bad for Iga, but terrible for Osaka. If you keep moving down, Kudermetova, we know on her day, can be dangerous. Krejcikova, I don't think she's nowhere near the levels anymore. I wouldn't expect her to even probably play an Iga. I think she'll go out before. Top of her, I do like as an unseeded player. I think she's dangerous. But you keep saying how it's an easy draw. I'm not sure if I agree fully. Reason being, Danielle Collins is there. And she's probably been one of the most informed players this year. I know probably clay courts aren't her forte. But I think when you're that good, like she is, she's still got the ability to beat a lot of players. I don't think an Iga would be worried because she's simply that good. And this is why it sort of feels a bit like Djokovic Australian Open draws in the past or Wimbledon draws where we speak about how they're quite easy for him. I think it's not that it's easy. It's just because he's that good and so dominant. And it feels like that with Iga here. She reminds me a little bit like a Rafael Nadal of Roland Garros of late. It looks it's very difficult to look beyond her losing this event, because she's only got better and better as the year's gone on. She's the best player on the clay court. She's not had a bad warm-up into this event. And it just seems tailor-made that she's going to walk it.
Yeah, I mean,
despite the fact that Danielle Collins, I think, is a really tough match. So on paper, maybe it's not the easiest draw, because I think Danielle Collins, I'm not sure how many people can argue with this, but she's definitely been a top 5 player this year.
Agreed.
Maybe top 3. Why not?
I would agree. I would totally agree with that. I would say top. I was going to say top 4, but maybe
Yeah.
top 3. You could. She's only lost since Indian Wells. She lost to Iga at Indian Wells, and since then she's only lost 2 matches, and both are to Sabalenka deep in tournaments. And she's continuing her run. She's blitzed Siniakova. She's blitzed Burrell in her current tournament in Strasbourg. She just looks like she's like a level above everybody else
She's
at the
4th
moment.
on the live rankings. So it's Iga
Madness.
1st, Rybakina 2nd. No, sorry, Sabalenka 2nd, Rybakina 3rd, and Danielle Collins 4th, with Coco in 5th.
It's fair. I think it's fair. And I think that is the one name that jumps off the page. But I think she's good enough, but not good enough to beat the likes of Saba or Iga. So that's why I still feel it's not that bad for Iga, because I think when she comes up against Danielle Collins, it's just another level. They show the levels, these top 2.
I still think it's going to be tight. I think it's a tough match. And based off that, it's not maybe as easy a draw as you're making out, in my opinion. You got Donna Vekic in there, a player I really like. I don't know how good she's going to be or how dangerous. And then if you keep going down, Vondrausova.
Yeah, I mean...
Pedigree at this event.
Yeah, that's the one name which maybe you would be worried about. I feel that her game style, though, is sort of a bit more tailor-made for someone like an Iga, though. I feel that she's not really the most powerful. She has a lot of slice and stuff in her game, which Iga can step in.
And Vondrausova's not been as good this year as last year. Nowhere near it.
No.
I'm just looking now at Rome and how she fared. She went out to Steyer pretty early on, round of 32. First round, she went 3 sets with Bogdan. So it's not the same Vondrausova for sure. She got battered against Andreeva in Madrid as well. So she's not going through events very well. Nowhere near the same level of player, but she is good at Roland Garros, and that could help her out. But if I was to go down this list, I think Osaka's got the tough one. But the name I'm going to highlight, I'm going to stick with Donna Vekic as my unseeded player to watch. I do really like her, and I think she's the one to watch out for. You never know what she can produce. I think she's got so much experience at the top level. And on the women's, experience is important. It certainly is, especially on these clay courts, because it's not every day we get clay court events, especially Roland Garros. She's been here, done it before. And I think she's the one to watch as an outsider. But Iga obviously should be okay if Danielle Collins doesn't turn into an absolute beast.
Yeah, I mean, the one name that I would pick out other than Vekic would be Diana Schneider. She's the young Russian, and she's just come off the back of like a Challenger women's tournament. She's won that tournament, beating Emma Navarro in the final. So she's in good form coming in, and maybe could be someone who could upset Vondrausova down this little section down here. And we could see her maybe go far. But she does have a French player in the first round, which is never ideal for anybody, especially on the women's. I think that there could be some upsets in the early
shout out to
rounds.
Marta Kostyuk as well. She's having a good year.
Yeah, really good. I mean, some great qualifiers. I'll go through the qualifiers when we get to the end, and we'll see who some of the qualifiers could be playing, because you see Iga's playing a qualifier. There are some good qualifiers. So let's take a look at Iga's route through the tournament. And round 1, she will be playing a qualifier. Round 2, potentially Osaka, but don't rule out Bronzetti there. Bauskova or Kudermetova 3rd round. Alexandrova 4th round. And we've got Vondrausova or Collins in the quarterfinal. I think it'll probably be Collins, if I'm honest.
Yeah, me too. Vondrausova not in the form.
Gauff, Jabeur, Ostapenko or Haddad Maia for a semi-final. I mean, all the way up until the final, I feel like Iga should be fine. That's my personal opinion. And then Sabalenka, etc., which means maybe Rybakina. But I think Sabalenka's in such good form. We'll get to that in a second, because we're going to go to the other side.
Yeah, my assessment of this is up until the quarterfinals, she can do it with one eye closed. I'm not worried at all. The quarterfinals, if it's Collins and she's played well, I think that's a really tough match. She's in such good form, playing so well. Beyond that, then the semi-final will probably be easier than the quarterfinal if it's in form Collins. The final, I know it says etc. there, but Rybakina has big claims.
Yeah. Let's wait and see, though. Like, we're going to go through each of the top four's routes through. As we're on Iga's side, let's have a look at Coco Gauff. She was obviously the finalist a couple of years ago, and she is also playing a qualifier or a lucky loser in the first round too, so not too bad for her. And looks like the second round is going to be quite nice as well. This whole section for Coco Gauff doesn't look too bad.
No.
Looking at it.
Samsonova's dangerous when she plays well.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen always too often. Can be a bit hot and cold. Hadidmaya, similar. Yeah, again, I feel like there's a lot of players here. All the seeds, the big seeds, not that consistent. I would love Hadidmaya to do well because I've got her very high on my top 10. I think I've got like 6th or 7th. I do really believe in her. I think she's a quality player, and I would love to see her have a run. And I think she's got a great chance to have a run if she plays well and consistently throughout. Same with Samsonova, same with Ostapenko, them 3 names. If either of them hit the ground running and don't produce many unforced errors and are in very laser focused, then they've got a real shot. Because Coco Gauff for me is beatable this year.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think Samsonova and Hadidmaya just literally played, and that was in Strasbourg. And Hadidmaya got bageled. She got lost 6-3, 6-love to Samsonova. So Samsonova may be playing herself into a bit of form in that tournament coming in. Might be one to watch out for. Danielle Collins also in that tournament. So we could end up with a Samsonova-Collins final over there in Strasbourg.
One thing with Hadidmaya, though, she does have this desire which other women don't have. And that's why I put her high in my rankings, because you know she's going to play a lot of events. And you know she's got a real fight and desire on the court. I think these clay courts, I'm hoping we can see better than the bagel we saw last week from her.
Well, let's not forget as well with Hadidmaya, last year's semi-finalist at Roland Garros. So that should be something to know. And I think she plays better in front of bigger crowds. So she sort of like feeds off the energy. So we might see her. Maybe she's just not been playing her top level to try and save a bit of energy for Roland Garros. It's always a bit dodgy playing a tournament just the week before. So I wouldn't look too much into her defeat. Ostapenko, always a danger. Never know which one's going to turn up. We always say it. And yeah, that's unfortunate for Coco that's a player in her section. We got a French player as well, another seed, Garcia. That one, I wouldn't say that she's the best on the clay, but in France, I'm not going to rule it out. So Kenin in there, sneaking in there as well. Got a few interesting players in this little section. Clara Towson, Tatiana Maria. Moving down, and then we got Ons Jabeur at the bottom. I like Camila Osorio Serrano. She's a really good clay court player. So not bad little section. Leila Fernandez, I don't really see her doing much at this event. So we'll have a quick look at Coco's route through. More difficult, I would say, as we hit round 4. I think the first three rounds should be safe. I think as soon as we hit round 4, she could struggle.
Yeah, you got the Ostapenko effect too. So I'm assuming Ostapenko's on the same half as Iga, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we saw her on the graphic, did we, for Iga? But if she is to hit the ground running, that's someone who Iga will want to avoid. So the more I'm going through this, I'm thinking that Iga's draw is not as good as we're making out. I just think she's that good that it just seems all right.
She has to make it all the way to the semi-final.
She doesn't beat Ostapenko.
Ostapenko making a semi-final doesn't really happen
very
often.
If she does, though, if she does, would you not favour Ostapenko to beat Iga? Because I certainly would do.
I'm not sure. On the
firing Ostapenko gets to the semi-final of Roland Garros, she's going to be tonking Iga on the way there as well at the semis.
Well, she does have bogey players as opponents. Rybakina being one, Ostapenko being another.
Players who hit big.
That's it, exactly. That's the one thing Iga doesn't like, being pushed back on the court, and that's one of the players who can do it. Another player who can do it as well, but didn't manage to do it in Rome, is Alina Sabalenka, and we're going to go to her section next, and that's at the other side of the draw to Iga, right at the other end, and she plays Erika Andreeva in the first round, and then a potential qualifier or lucky loser in the second round, by the looks of it. Not too bad, this draw by the looks of it for Sabalenka.
Yeah, I just want to note there the big matchup, Katie Bolter, Paula Badoza. I think that's one of the matches on the women's to watch. I really like that one. Badoza's playing a little bit better. Katie Bolter's having a fantastic few years. I think she's getting better and better. She's now a seed for the event.
It's great.
And I think that one should be a great match. Hopefully it goes the distance. I like that one on paper.
Yeah, it is a very interesting one, especially seeing it that way round as well, because a few years ago it would have been the opposite, wouldn't it? But Sloane Stephens, I thought that when we saw her at, where was it? She won an event in France on the clay. Then she came into Madrid in good form, beat a couple of good players. I think Mertens, Trevisan, lost to Sakari. Now she's sort of fallen off and has been on a bit of a losing run. She was, I believe, a finalist here. Yeah, back in 2018, Sloane Stephens made the final of the French Open. Don't think we've seen that type of level on clay from her since. So I think Sabalenka will be fairly happy with this this draw down here. I'm a bit annoyed because I've got Putintseva as one of my surprise packages, and it's not a really great section for her. It looks
I forget who mine are now. Do you know? I've got Maria Carla. I've not seen her name yet.
No, we'll have to keep an eye out for her for sure.
Is she above? Keep going up. Let's have a little look.
Let's have a little look here.
Madison Keys, Daria Kasatkina as the big seeds. Mira Andreeva's in here. That's a really dangerous, unseeded player. Azarenka, Noskova, who's seeded now. It's great to see some of these names seeded. I wouldn't have expected it.
Yeah.
And is that the top?
The top is Maria Sakkari.
Okay. Yeah, not bad at all. I think this is nice. I think Sabalenka's got an easier quarter than Iga.
I think she'll be happy with it, definitely.
For me, Sabalenka's quarter is easier than Iga's. Let me know in the comments section if you agree.
The way that Saba's been playing, I expect her to clean up this.
Keys has actually been really good, though, hasn't she? How does she get on? Let me just pull up some of her results because I think she's been impressive.
Strasbourg at the moment. She's doing quite well. She's playing Samsonova in the semi-final, I believe. Yeah. So Madison Keys, she's having a very good year.
Yeah, Samsonova in the semis. That's on today. But even in Rome, I don't think she did too bad, did she? She got all the way to the quarterfinal, losing to Iga, which can happen. But before that, beat some big names.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy that
She lost to the semi-final stage as well to Iga at Madrid. So it's just Iga who's been beating her. Yeah. Iga's the only player to beat Keys on the clay courts recently, which says a lot.
American problem, it feels like. It's Collins having a similar problem.
But then looking down this, Madison Keys, I think she's my player to watch on this quarter because I think it is open. I think Sabalenka, obviously the big favourite.
Yeah, for sure.
And Madison Keys, in form, she is the one everyone needs to be watching.
Yeah, she's very dangerous. I mean,
playing so well at the moment. The only thing what could be in her downfall, she might have played a bit too much.
Maybe. Well,
because she's still playing now.
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. Let's have a look at Saba's route through. It's a bit of a different view, this one, but looks quite interesting. We've got Andreeva, then a qualifier, then Bolter or Badoza, then Keys, Sakkari or Kasatkina in the quarters, Rybakina in the semis, and then Iga or Gauff in the final.
Not the worst quarter in the world. I think Keys is the real big trouble. I think round 4 is harder than the quarterfinal. And then beyond that, it's tough. And that's where Iga gets to avoid a Rybakina. The big talking point is Rybakina, Saba on the same half. And it's great news for Iga because it's just like one less final to play. And that's how it feels. It feels like for either Saba or Rybakina to win Roland Garros, they have to win 2 finals.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough. And that's why I think Iga's one looks much more appealing because I don't see anyone troubling her until the final. And that's only if a big hitter gets there. If she gets to the final against somebody who's not a big hitter, then I think she just walks the whole thing. So move on to Rybakina, our other big hitter on the Saba side. And she's playing Greet Minnen in the first round. Poor Greet Minnen. But she sometimes throws up a weird result here and there, Greet Minnen. I don't understand like her consistency levels. They're very all over the place. Sometimes she just gets like bageled by players. Sometimes she's the one beating some players I never expect her to beat. But yeah, I don't expect her to beat Rybakina. Kerber right next to Rybakina down there at the bottom. That's not
And there's great. Maria Carla as well. But why has she not got a player? It's not playing anyone.
Yeah, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
I think you've got a wrong graphic here before it was entered. I don't know
Well,
who Carla's playing. I'll have to have a look on Google.
ooh, there's a little bit of something. Maybe it's a qualifier, or maybe it's not. Gene sent me this over.
She's got Elise Mertens first round.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's not bad. I think that she stands a
What's the
chance, to be
25th
honest.
seed?
I still think that she has a good chance. I think Elise Mertens sometimes there for the taking.
Not a
So
nice draw though for her. You got Svitolina there. You got Paolini. They're two seeds I do like, who I think could do well. Keep going up. Andreescu, don't expect much from her. I think Sorribes Tormo likes the clay courts. Sestaya, Kalinskaya. Keep going, keep going. King Wing Zheng, 5th best player this year. And she's the one at the top, I'm assuming.
that's correct.
So, yeah, King Wing Zheng got an opportunity. Not too bad for her. But if you keep going down, then we try and pick a nice unseeded player here who I think could do some damage. I don't think any of them. Maria Carla would have been the obvious one, but no, I don't think so. Too tough of a draw. I think from here, it looks like a seed will advance. I don't think any of the unseeded are that dangerous. And if I had to pick, probably, obviously, Rybakina at number one, but one that's not Rybakina, if you go up, it'll probably be Paolini.
I mean, I'd say keep an eye out for Angelique Kerber.
No chance.
I'd say she got through to the 4th round in Rome. That's all. So
I'll make a big claim now. She's going to get absolutely battered by Rybakina, and I think she'll win. She'll be lucky to get more than 5 games.
No hope
less than 5 games for Kerber.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, she did get battered by Raducanu in the indoor Stuttgart clay 6-2, 6-1. So you never know.
Another one's coming.
With Pavlyuchenkova, no chance for her?
No chance.
That's a bit sad.
I think great player, a bit too old now. I don't expect her doing very well at Roland Garros.
And not Svitolina Pliskova.
Svitolina could do it. I think Paolini is my one. I think she's having a fantastic year. So good. 12th seed now, Paolini.
Mad, that, isn't it?
We could see a Paolini Rybakina match.
Paolini lost to Sharif in Rome, lost to Mira Andreeva in Madrid, and Rybakina in Stuttgart. So I don't know. She's playing some. The last result seems a bit strange, but I still think she's been playing well enough this year. She knows what it takes to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just move on to look at Rybakina's draw. And we've got Minen, 1st round, Kerber or Roos, 2nd round, Martic or Madlenovic, 3rd round. I mean, so far it looks pretty nice reading. Svitolina Pliskova, Bogdan Pavlyuchenkova, round 4. I mean, Svitolina would probably be the toughest one there. Kim Min-jae, Sestaya, Kalinskaya or Paolini quarterfinal. I mean, I'll probably remove Sestaya and Kalinskaya from that equation.
Probably the easiest yet, up until the semis. The difference is she's just got to play them 2 finals. Yeah, she's got to play the 2 big matches, the big semi-final, the big final, which Iga doesn't have, and that's where Sabalenka and Rybakina fall down. But ultimately, I would even say Rybakina's up until the semis is probably easier than all of them.
Well, they beat each other up in the semi-final and just hand it on a plate for Iga in the final. A nice 3.5-hour semi-final.
More this is going on. I just don't think Iga's draw is that easy.
Well, these are the, based on seeds, projected quarterfinals. I don't think we're going to get all of these. I don't know. No. What do you think?
Well, I think that's obvious, Ben. I think the sky's blue as well.
Nice. I mean, well, not behind us.
Spread. I don't see King Wing Zheng doing great. I don't see Sakari doing great. I certainly don't see Vondrousova. I think Vondrousova is probably going to be the most disappointing on that list. Jabeur, I'm not sure. She might turn up.
Jury's out on Jabeur at the moment.
I don't think we'll see Gauff. I think we've got more chance of seeing Jabeur than Gauff.
Wow. That's a big hot take from JG there. And some of our exciting round 1 matchups, these are the ones that we've picked. Svitolina Pliskova, I mean, you never know. That could be a potential upset there. Pliskova maybe could win that. Balta Badoza we spoke about. Zheng versus Cornet. Is this Cornet's last ever Roland Garros? Seems to be every year's her last one. But very nice lady. Hopefully it's not. I'd like to see her play again. Sloane Stephens Putintseva. That's quite a good one as well. Osaka Bronzetti we spoke about. And I added this one on the end just at the... I thought this one could be an upset. Clara Burrell maybe could take out Kalinskaya. French crowd. That type of thing.
Will Yannick Sinner be there?
Oh, maybe. Maybe he'll be in disguise.
Well, I think the relationship's becoming more public. For those who don't know, it seems Anna Kalinskaya and Yannick Sinner are dating. And she got some tips from Yannick, because if she's got any, she'll be all right. The difference is in this first match, she'll have all the crowd against her, against Clara Burrell, the French player.
Oh, yeah, but maybe if Sinner turns up, he can turn the crowd around and get them cheering for his girl. We got this one from Jose in, just telling us when the matches are going to be taking place. So it says the top half of the women's singles draw and the bottom half of the men's singles draw will be scheduled on Sunday and Monday. We've got the bottom half of the women's singles draw and the top half of the men's singles draw scheduled on Monday and Tuesday.
So the top half of the men's, that's Rafael Nadal and Djokovic.
Yes, that's correct.
Cool.
So that one, keep an eye out. Everyone's waiting to find out when is
Rafa's bottom half
match.
of the women's is the Saba and Rybakina. The top half of the women's being the Iga one.
That is correct.
Nice.
Right, so I think that pretty much sums up our draw reaction for the women's. Tell us in that comment section below which matchups you're most looking forward to in that first round, and who do you think has the easiest draw out of those top 4 women? Is it Iga? Is it Saba? Or is it Rybakina? I don't know. There's a little bit of a debate there on that. I think Iga. I think you think slightly different.
I think Rybakina's got the nicest draw based off what I've seen. But let us know in the comment section what you think. If you haven't already as well, hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you are new. Great to see so many new subscribers based off the last episode. Go check that out if you've not seen our reaction to the men's. It was a similar time, I think about half an hour, and we went into a relative amount of detail, but the focus was on Rafael Nadal and his horror draw.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, make sure, like, subscribe, download it on Spotify, and then we'll see you for more Roland Garros. We've got loads of podcasts coming up. We're going to do a final countdown episode. We're going to do qualifiers to watch, and we're going to have the actual draw previews where we tell you who we think is going to be going all the way and winning the whole thing.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more content with the Grand Slam just on the horizon. So see you very soon. Thanks for watching. And adios. Ciao, ciao.
Au revoir.